Hi VC, welcome to Shelf Stacker's first annual, what am I calling it? Oh yeah, Vinyl Finds Award Show, where I show the best and the worst finds of 2022. But as this is an award show, let's put a bit of glitz into the occasion. There you go, that's better. Okay. The rental shop wants their tucks back, so let's get on with this. And the first category is, can't read that from here, my discovery of the year. And the winner is Roy. Who? Roy and his album Roy's Garage. And I've not shown this on the VC before, but this is a bit special. One of my local record shops, Roan Records in Teddington, the owner in there recommended this to me, and I'm glad he did. This is a great bit of neo-psych, but it doesn't sound like neo-psych. It sounds like a Lost Sixes artifact. It's kind of equal parts 13th floor elevators and sort of journeys off into a Brian Wilson territory. It is a really interesting album, really special. Came out in 2021, and yeah, it's about as out there as they come. So Roy, winner of the best discovery of 2022. And the second category is rediscovery of the year, and by this I mean an album or a body of work by an artist that's sort of lain in my collection for years, kind of being ignored. I've known it's good, I've kept it for a reason, but this year I've kind of rediscovered it. And that's a great thing about having a decent sized record collection. It's like a library you can go to and just pull stuff off a shelf you haven't played for years and really get off on it. So the winner of rediscovery of the year, it's Stars. Now, like I say, this is a band that I've known for many years. I've got all their studio albums and a couple of live albums, and their stuff has really hit the spot for me this year. It's like a cross between stadium type cock rock and Powerpop, and I absolutely love it. I mean, I just pulled the first album just because it's got a great band logo, but yeah, they straddle sort of almost Aerosmith style hard rock right through to the kind of Powerpop of the Attention Shoppers album. So a great rediscovery. I've been playing a lot of Stars this year. And next up we have the award for Disappointment of the Year. And if any of you have watched my Vinyl Tag video, you'll know that I was really disappointed in my purchase of ABBA's latest album. But unfortunately ABBA can't be here tonight, so the runners up are going to take the prize instead. So Disappointment of the Year goes to Nancy Sinatra and Lee Hazelwood for their Nancy and Lee album. Now, I know a lot of you think this is an absolute classic. This is, I think, the fourth copy of this I've owned. I keep buying it, I keep thinking it's going to click with me, and I keep selling it. And the good thing about it is it's easy to sell because so many people want it. But I just don't get it. Neither of them can sing. The songs aren't that great. I've heard it described as psychedelic on more than one occasion, and I cannot find a trace of psychedelia in here. Possibly actually the track Some Velvet Morning, which is probably its only saving grace. But for the reputation this album has, you can keep it. It's going to get traded in very soon. I mean, I love that cover. I think it's an iconic cover. But what am I missing? Tell me, what am I missing? I just do not get it. Disappointment of the Year. 4 times in a row. And now the award for Bargain of the Year. And there's been some stiff competition in this category. One of the cheapest album I probably bought this year, I'll be showing later on. So I'm not basing it solely on price. I'm basing it on a combination of obviously how cheap it was, but what quality I got for that money. And for me, Bargain of the Year has got to be Red Snapper. Now, I've shown this before, won't say too much about it, but it's a fantastic jazz album, essentially. I saw them live. They're a great festival band, play stand-up bass, lots of kind of almost Tex-Mex type guitar in places. I absolutely love this album. It is a kind of combination of their first couple of EPs, I think, but plays great as an album. And I picked this up for £1, £1 for a double album, and it's minty. So, bargain of the year, Red Snapper. And category number 5 is a vinyl pickup inspired by the VC. So something I saw on someone else's channel made me think I need to have that. There's been a few, but the award this year goes to, actually I don't know whether I even saw this year, but I'm going to make it my one of this year, you know. Hey. It's the Animated Egg. And I certainly bought it this year, and I think it was Matt Sand's channel where I first saw this. It took me a little while to find a copy, but certainly he's responsible for me picking this one up. A great bit of Exploito Psych, all instrumental, pretty sure it's all instrumental. The band picture there, I'm pretty sure just shows a random selection of vaguely hippie-ish people. I doubt they had anything to do with making the music, because it's probably all made by session musicians. But it's a great bit of Exploito fuzzy Psych on that Marble Arch label. So there you go, VC inspired purchase of the year. And next we have the award for the best sleeve art that I picked up this year. Some stiff competition for this one as well. But the award goes to Primal Scream for their If They Move, Kill 'Em 12-inch single. And I love that artwork. It's designed by a guy called Paul Kelly, he's a bit of a filmmaker and a designer and has collaborated with people at Saint Etienne before. But I love the way that pink Stuka fighter plane just pops against that acid yellow background. Apart from anything else, this is a great track from Primal Scream's best album, Exterminator. But love the simplicity and the eye-catchingness, is that a word, of this sleeve. Primal Scream. And you can't award the best artwork without recognising the worst artwork as well. So the award for worst artwork of a record that I purchased this year goes to, it's Colin Scott and his what's it even called, Just Another Clown album. I mean, I hate clowns anyway. I'm not one of these people scared of clowns. I just find them just unpleasant. But that is such an ugly sleeve, and the back isn't any better. There's a gatefold. I mean, she might have been better on the cover, I don't know, but even she's looking a little bit, well, very weird there. But this is, I mean, the artwork speaks for itself. Some of you may like it. I find that utterly revolting. The album itself is pretty good. And this is the one I mentioned earlier about the bargain of the year. If this was as good as the Red Snapper album, this would have been the bargain of the year, because I paid £1 for this. Bought it on eBay. No one else bid for it, and that was the starting price. So I got this very cheap. It's a decent singer-songwriter album, actually. Slightly sort of tougher edged than some of those particular albums can be. So it's worth picking up, but God, that sleeve is horrendous. Colin Scott. And category 8 is for the coolest band or artist portrait. And was there a lot of competition for this? No, not really. The winner is Eric Wagner and his posthumously released album, In the Lonely Light of Morning. And look at him, he looks like a druid or he looks like a god, doesn't he? What a great portrait. Beautiful, simple, black and white. Hey, he looks wise. He looks like the doom metal god that he was. Sadly, he died in 2021 from COVID. Probably not helped by the fact that he was never seen without a cigarette in his mouth. But you know, a huge loss. I loved his voice. I loved Trouble, The Skull, Lid, all the projects he's involved with. But that, I think, is a beautiful portrait of the man. So, Portrait of the Year, Eric Wagner. And of course, we've got to do the worst portrait of the year as well. And the winner, I can't even show you this. I don't know what the rules are on YouTube about nudity. I'm keeping my clothes on. But this album by Telephone. And you might be thinking, well, what's so terrible about that band Portrait? Well, it's how they kind of adapted it for the inner sleeve that makes it slightly dodgy. I'll have to describe it to you, because like I say, I'm not sure if I'll get banned for showing it, but basically it's full frontal nudity, but all the guys in the band have got their cocks tucked between their legs, so they all look like they all look like they're women. So if you're determined to seek it out, that's what you're going to have to put up with. But yeah, worst band portrait of the year, I'd say so. Good album though. And next up we have the award for the best looking disc of the year. And by that I mean just a physical record that looks the best. Not talking about the cover, I'm talking about the actual vinyl. And God, everything you buy these days, new releases, seems to be coloured vinyl. And some of them, for me, the combination of the colour of the vinyl, the colour of the label just doesn't work. You know, just needs a bit more thought to go into it. But the winner of the best looking vinyl bought this year goes to Zoo and the Zoo Presents Chocolate Mousse album. And I mean, as far as album artwork goes, that's pretty special. But this reissue came out in 2020. If I just crack this open for you, perhaps you'll see what I mean about the label vinyl combination. I just think this is really, really sexy combination. That's a muted, creamy kind of coloured label with this beautiful pinky purple marbled vinyl. It's a great record, really is. I mean, it gets labelled as Psych, and there are Psych elements certainly, but it kind of falls into that category of albums, of which there were quite a few, I think, in the late 60s, where it was kind of blue-eyed soul with some Psych leanings. And as such, it's really good. There's some real sort of garage sort of feel to a lot of it. And it's a great listen. It's a bloody short album. I mean, you can probably see how wide the run-out grooves are on there. I haven't timed it, but it's got to be about 25 minutes at most, this album. But best looking vinyl of the year, The Zoo. The next category is for the best upgrade of the year. The record I'm most pleased to have got a decent copy of finally. And the award goes to Harry Nilsson and his Harry album. There's the young Harry, what a sweet looking kid he was. But this is your typical early Harry Nilsson album. Great, great record. Absolutely love it. First copy I had, it was noisy as all hell. And surprisingly difficult to pick this one up, certainly around my parts. But got myself a pretty decent copy there. You know, it might be the odd hairlines, but it plays really nicely. So glad to have upgraded that. So that's it, Harry Nilsson, my best upgraded vinyl album of the year. And so we get on to the nitty gritty of any award show, is the genre specific awards. And we're going to start off with, oh yeah, the best Psych purchase of the year. Now, the thing about a lot of the music that I listen to is sometimes the artists stray between categories. So you may find that what I've defined as Psych, you might think, well, there's a fair bit of prog in that as well, or some of the jazz might have some Psych in it, you know. But hey, I've got to put them somewhere. So, best Psych purchase of the year. Had it on here before. Love this album. Shocking Blue. Don't know what else to say about this. A great bit of Dutch late 60s psychedelia, psych pop. The highlight on here, without a doubt, is the Butterfly and I, which again I've talked about before, so I won't go into too much detail, or any more detail in fact. That's your lot. Shocking Blue. Best Psych album of the year for me. And then next up is the best prog purchase of the year. And again, bear in mind these categories can kind of overlap a little bit, but this one had to be awarded. Best prog purchase of the year, Start Naked. Again, you've seen this not too long ago. It's one of my grails. And this album just grown and grown in my estimation. I absolutely love this one. Can't get enough of it. Heavy guitar, almost classical piano in here. Touches of Atomic Rooster, if Atomic Rooster had piano rather than organ. It's a great album. Great album. No filler on it. It's on one of the thinnest bits of vinyl in my collection, your typical Dynaflex. But what a piece of music. So pleased to have this prog album of the year. And next up is the award for the best metal or hard rock album that I bought this year. Some stiff competition. I bought some great stuff. May have been wearing a clue earlier. Let's have a look. The winner is Trouble. And the reissue of their Simple Mind Condition album. This album, again, it's an album I love. I've previously had it on vinyl, but it was pressed by a company called, I think it's FWR Records or something like that. Anyway, their pressings are appalling. And the record was mastered so quietly, I had to have my amp almost all the way up to be able to hear it. It was just so quiet, it was ridiculous. But Hammerheart Records have been doing some great reissues of Trouble's back catalogue, putting the love and care into it that these albums deserve, and this sounds absolutely amazing. It's the last album that Eric Wagner recorded with Trouble, and it's up there with their best. Some people may disagree with that, but I just adore it. Great album. And of course, you all know how much I love my PowerPop, so we've got to award the best PowerPop purchase for the year. You probably know what's going to be. Have a good idea. It's the Webb Brothers and their Maroon album, which I've said a lot about before, so again I'll keep this brief, but great bit of Baroque PowerPop. It's surprisingly dark. The Webb Brothers were the sons of Jimmy Webb, great songwriter, and they learnt a few things off their dad, that's all I can say. Superb album, had it on CD forever, finally got a vinyl copy this year and I couldn't be happier. Absolute classic. Category 16, the best jazz album of the year. And I buy a reasonable amount of jazz. I think I've said before, I don't consider myself particularly an authority on jazz. It's definitely one of those kind of peripheral genres that I listen to. And I tend to like the stuff that kind of crosses over almost into rock. So Bitches Brew is kind of my touch point. But this year, my favourite jazz purchase of the year is Larry Coryell and his Coryell album. And a slightly kind of risque Back to Nature sleeve. And there he is on the back. And the thing I love about Larry Coryell is that his guitar is, to me, it's rock guitar. It's heavy, psychedelic guitar a lot of the time. And this could just as easily have been my Psych purchase of the year, because it leans so far into that kind of Psych field, really. But yeah, he gets labelled as jazz, so who am I to argue? My favourite jazz purchase of the year, Coryell by Larry Coryell. Category 17, is best soundtrack purchase of the year, and this was no brainer. The winner is Air and their Virgin Suicides album. Again, another one I'd had on CD forever. Always loved it. Always wanted the vinyl. Even the reissues are stupidly expensive. But I managed to get this original UK pressing for a very reasonable price this year, and I'm very glad I did. It's a beautiful piece of music, the whole thing. Whether or not you've seen the film doesn't really matter, because the music stands up on its own. I've said before, it reminds me of classic Pink Floyd, really, a lot of it. And I can't speak highly enough of this. So do check it out. You can pick up a CD for a couple of quid pretty much anywhere. But on vinyl, that's a way to get it if you can. Soundtrack of the year. And the final award, and this is the big one. This is for my #1 purchase of 2022. And there was some stiff competition. It's been such a good year for buying music. I surprised myself with the quality of the stuff I've managed to pick up. And a few grails have turned up, and this was one of them. Not necessarily because it's that difficult to pick up. Is that what makes it a grail? Difficult to pick it up? I suppose finding it at a price you're willing to pay, because some things are just stupidly expensive. So yeah, it's a grail. It's a grail to me. It's an album, again, that I've loved for many years and really wanted it on vinyl. And I finally got it on vinyl. I don't know why I'm using this. Nothing in it. The winner is Doves. Lost Souls. Fantastic album. Absolutely love this. I talked about it not so long ago. So again, not going to say much. To me, this is deeply psychedelic. It's ambient. It's experimental. It's so atmospheric. It's one of my favourite albums of the millennium. Was it 2000 this came out? Yeah, 2000. So I can't speak highly enough of this. None of their other albums quite connected with me in the same way. I enjoy them, but this is the one for me. If you want to know more about it, have a look at one of my previous videos. I forget which one it was in. There you go, some nice silvery grey vinyl, as I speak about it at length. But without a doubt, my favourite purchase of the year. And it's had some stiff competition. Doves. I should give them a prize or something, shouldn't I? There you go, a trophy. So that's your lot. That's the end of the inaugural, what am I calling it? Annual Vinyl Finds Award Show. The best and worst of 2022. That's what I'm calling it. Managed to do this without punching any comedians, so I feel like I've probably improved on other award shows. Comment below, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye for now.